Hello, I hope you're doing well. My name is Glenda and I'm making today a beach theme soap. I'm calling it Sea Life, and this is my inspiration for it, or the design that I have in mind. Here I have the oils, and to the oils I'm adding 1 teaspoon of titanium dioxide, which is already mixed with some light color oil. I think I used sunflower on this one. And I'm putting some to help with the discoloration, because the fragrance that I'm using has vanillin, and that will cause it to discolor to like tan or beige or medium brown. The fragrance is exotic coconut and is from Wholesale Supplies. It does have a very, to me, it's low usage rate. The maximum usage rate is 3.6%. So in the end, usually I'm used to fragrances being at least 5% of maximum usage rate. But what I did is that I blended the titanium dioxide into the oils, and I have the recipe link in the description box if you want to see what the oils are. Which, by the way, my working temperature for the oils is 96 Fahrenheit and 35 Celsius. And the light water should be at room temperature, which is 26 Celsius and 78 Fahrenheit. Next, I'm just going to add slowly the light water to the oils. Initially, I'm only stirring the solution with the spatula, and I'm just trying to distribute the light in the oils without using the blender first, because I want to add the exfoliants before adding the fragrance, in case the fragrance does accelerate. Now the exfoliants are a blend of coffee grounds with ground oats and with ground cornmeal, and I'm using about 2 teaspoons of it, and this is going to help simulate the look of sand as well. Initially I just kept stirring it, and later I did use the stick blender, and I just alternated having the stick blender on for like 10-15 seconds and then just stirring. I went ahead and got the mold ready. I wanted it to be tilted, and what you see in the mold is actually part of a different soap that I made and I had leftovers. So I smear it at the bottom of this mold, thinking that it will create a good like dark sand effect. But it didn't work out that well. I should have put more. Not I know for next time. I continue blending with the stick blender to see if it will reach trace. And once it reached a very light trace, I added the fragrance. Then you can see it turn greenish or yellowy. The temperature started increasing. It went from 91 Fahrenheit to 92 within a very short few minutes. And since I didn't have any specific design for the bottom part, I just went ahead and poured it on the mold. And as you can see, I actually made more than I needed. So I took some out and I put those on different individual cavity molds. I am also using less water in the recipe, which allow the soap to set up faster. As you can see, what I'm scraping off is just sitting on top. And I'm using one of the measurement teaspoons, I think that's the 1/4 teaspoon, to sort of add some texture to that portion. Next, I started adding some blue mica to create the effect of the ocean. And I did test several ones. I tried turquoise teal mica, azure blue mica. That was one of my favorites, the azure blue, which is the first one that I tested. But in the end, the one that I liked best was Nurture Soap Ocean Blue Mineral Glitter, which is an Enviro glitter, eco-friendly. And that one, I just learned that that color is being discontinued by the manufacturer. So I may have to buy more. However, I still have plenty, so I'm not sure. But I wanted this to be blue so that when I put the clear melting port looks blue as well, as if it was water, without adding any colorant to the melting pot because I wanted it to stay as transparent as possible. Okay, now I'm gonna go ahead and melt the melting pot, which, by the way, I'm using Crafter Choice Extra Clear Melting Pot soap base. I will spray it with alcohol. I have here 70%. Just to make sure that it sticks to it. And you know what? It's moving some of the mica, actually. I need to spray some more to get rid of the bubbles. Okay. And I'm gonna wait for this to thicken up a little bit before I use the embeds. I'll be using, I'm not sure about the penguins yet. It looks like it has a skin on top. I'm not sure if I should or shouldn't. I'm gonna try with the redfish. Usually when you do embeds on melting pot, you put the embed first and then you put the rest of the clear soap. And this is kind of like reverse. Adding the embeds was a little difficult because the top cools down faster and it creates that skin, but I wanted it to be underneath and I wanted it to be, for the embeds to be at a certain spots and not be floating on the top necessarily. So at some point I tried to remove that skin, and then I realized that it sort of looks like the water when it gets wavy as it comes closer to the beach. So then I tried to put it back, but in the end, in some spots it worked better than others. And when I was making this, I remember the story that my sister told me that when she went to Hawaii, she was snorkeling and she felt in her peripheral vision that there was somebody or like a large shadow next to her, and when she turned her head it was a gigantic turtle. And apparently this turtle was used to tourists because she let her husband later play with it and touch it. I wouldn't have done that because I've been bitten by a turtle before and it wasn't pleasant. But I know that usually wild animals are okay with you as long as they don't see you as a threat. Alright, so it's the next day. It's not 24 hours yet, more like maybe 18. But I believe it's ready to come out. I'm going to have to cut this with a knife because of the melting pot. And that's going to be tricky. So I placed the soap in my regular soap cutter. But my plan is to go like this with the knife, and hopefully this reach will guide it so that I keep it straight. I mean, that's the idea. So I'm putting it at an angle like so, and now I'm just going to attempt to cut it. And there we go. Looks nice. It is still not quite ready to be cut. It's too wet. So I'm gonna let it air out and I'll come back and keep cutting it. Hi, thank you for visiting my channel and I hope you liked the video. If you want to subscribe, you can do that by clicking on the logo somewhere on the screen. And if you are a returning visitor, welcome back. I hope to see you next Thursday. Bye.